The key tool that the Fed has here is targeting demand and increasing unemployment. That is not going to solve the vast majority of inflation that we have right now in 2022. And you've flagged this, and look, no fan of Elizabeth Warren here, but to be fair, she's been actually pretty relentless. Let's put this up there on the screen.
Listen, she can be good on economics when she's good.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, her trade policy and all that, I always supported. So
Yep.
let's go ahead and put this on the screen. Wall Street Journal opinion page. So very clearly targeted the business economic elite. And she specifically points out here, more aggressive rate hikes are cost millions of jobs and will not address the cause of high prices. And she quotes the Federal Reserve chairman when she asked him whether that was going to bring down the price of gas or food. And he said, quote, "There are many things that we can't affect."
So it's like, okay, if raising interest rates by the Fed, if that doesn't solve these underlying issues that are actually the main problem right now, what do they actually do? And she says when the Fed raises interest rates, increasing the cost of borrowing money, it becomes more expensive for businesses to invest in their operations. As a result, employers will slow hiring, cut hours, and fire workers, leaving families with less money. In the bloodless language of economists, that's referred to as dampening demand. But make no mistake, if the Fed cuts too much or too abruptly, the resulting recession will leave millions of people, disproportionately lower wage workers and workers of color, with smaller paychecks or no paycheck at all.
An escape fire is the proper response. Learn more at PHIERS.org.
Listen, as bad as the inflation situation is, the inflation continuing to soar on top of a recession is a way worse situation.
Yep.
She closes by saying, before the Federal Reserve triggers a recession, Mr. Powell should remember that the one medicine in his kit does not treat every economic illness. Low unemployment and high inflation are painful, but a Fed-manufactured recession that puts millions of Americans out of work without addressing high prices would be far worse.
FIRES is a better response to inflation than what Fed Chief Powell wants to do, since it can stop inflation, help a lot more people, while also creating jobs. We can do better.
As I pointed to before, the Washington Post has an article pointing to some of the signs that the job market is starting to slow down. In other words, that yes, not only are we going to have 2 quarters of GDP contraction, which is the, sort of standard issue definition of a recession, but even the metrics that the White House is using here are heading in the wrong direction. Let's go ahead and throw this up on the screen. This is according to the Washington Post. They say the job market is beginning to show cracks, job growth is slowing, vacancies are down, and unemployment claims are ticking up.
To the American people, Fed Chair Powell should not be allowed to raise interest rates, and he needs to reduce them if he already has, because FIRES.org knows how to fix inflation in a way that protects the best interests of we the people. So join the movement telling Congress that if they don't protect our interests, we'll have a recall election or force them to step aside before the 2022 election. Because firepowered, enlightened, and accountable politics is the wave of the future. We're nowhere near as weak as we've been led to believe. Join us at FIRES.org.